But yeah, AEW is a big potential for him. He says very unlikely he would go back to WWE. He feels like his time is worth more to him than it is to WWE, which, I mean, I agree. That's
I mean, all he's going to do is job.
Yeah. They didn't really use him last time. They put him in a really crappy feud with Del Rio.
Yeah. At least that can't happen again.
One thing I do remember was when they kept having those whole roster like on the ramp things, which fighting the Authority, and then they would get time on the mic, and RVD just went up to the mic. He's like, "Dude, what you're doing is not cool." And Triple H is like, "I've waited 10 years for RVD to call me dude." Hey, it is what it is.
Lana, what happened to your accent?
So who out there is a fan of Impact Wrestling? I know we still got lots of fans, and I know that apparently their product's on the upswing again, which is good for them.
Not all at once.
It is doing better.
January 2019, they're moving to a network called Pursuit, which I do not get.
So I do not either.
I had never heard of.
I also have never heard of it.
So you can find it and see if you've got the itch for Impact, see if you can get that network.
The funny thing is they're still going to be at the 10 o'clock time, something they complained of being on Pop.
Well, I think if they're changing networks and Pop wasn't going to keep them, they might as well have just taken what they could get.
Well, sure, and I agree with that. I just find the sticking point they had about why they didn't want to stay with Pop because they got moved. But, what is what it is.
You know what I say? Get good, scrub.
What I think they should do, because I've seen this mentioned a couple of times, and I think you were one of the people that mentioned it, Glenn, was that they should absolutely invest in either doing Twitch stuff too, or getting an app. Finding another easy access way to get content.
Guess what?
Maybe next day.
They
content.
already have both of those things.
Yeah, they have the GSW. I think it's GSW network or GWN network, whatever it is.
Yeah. Because they launched that when they were affiliated with Global Force.
Yeah,
and now they can't change it for like a couple of years still, I think.
So they've got their network. They've got a Twitch channel.
A Twitch channel that's on 24/7. And there's actually some cool shows on there, like Santino Marella does like a talk show and stuff on there.
Does he do it with the accent, or
no?
He's
Anthony Corelli.
Oh, he does the shoot voice. It's weird seeing him do the shoot voice.
But then again, it's like John Ross Bowie when you're like he's not doing his Big Bang Theory voice, but you realize he's just turning it up because he has that voice.
Yeah, I have noticed that too.
He has that voice. He's just cranking it up for Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
Wumo on the plasma lab. Is that you built a Wobot?
We're actually 2 episodes away from being completely caught up on season 12.
Oh, good.
Just in time for 5 more episodes.
10, I think, but
no, that was the 10th episode. So.
Aren't they doing 20 episodes?
January. I thought it was a full 24, but okay. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Either way, we're happy to be completely caught up now.
Get ready, because the most recent one will hit you right in the feels. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
It's got a big feels moment. All right, we got some Ring of Honor news for you guys. We have results from Final Battle. Not to be confused with Kaiju Big Battle, which shout out to Juan Jeremy because he performs there. He's the Dust Bunny.
Kaiju Big Battle with an EL.
Yes, it's intentionally spelled wrong, which is awesome.
Battle.
So, the Briscoes, the Young Bucks, Scorpius, and Kaz are now running with their 10th World Tag Team title.
And the Bucks.
I said Bucks.
Oh, I only heard Scorpio, Sky, and Kaz.
I said Bucks first. I got news about them, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yep.
Yes, so Briscoes, 10-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
Good for them. They deserve it.
Lethal, however, retained his title against Cody. And that's because Cody and the Bucks are done.
Yeah, they're going all in.
They're going all elite.
They're doing something, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, especially with the news that they just said no to a apparently 7-figure salary for WWE. So we're talking $1 million to $9,999,999 a year.
Yep.
Somewhere between those two numbers.
Somewhere between those two numbers. Indeed. But hey, you know what? I say good for them. I think doing their own thing is going to be the best fit for them.
They're trying.
I want to see more competition. More competition is good.
The three of them are trying to get a company together, apparently. So do it.
Bully Ray puts over Flip Gordon in an I Quit match. That was big news coming out of Final Battle.
Flip Gordon is massively hot.
Yeah, he's the future right now. The holder of the rights to the world title was Marty Scurll, and he defeated Daniels to retain his rights.
He also debuted his faction.
That's right. Villainous. Also on the card, Matt Taven defeated Dalton Castle.
To which Matt Taven basically said that Dalton Castle came back.
Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Jonathan Gresham.
Which, they were actually talking about that on the last the Road to Wrestle Kingdom show. They were saying how he was going to be matching up with Gresham.
We have a new Woman of Honor champion, Kelly Klein. And Dan, one of your Asian QTs, was defeated.
Yeah, well, it's been a while.
Jeff Cobb defeats Hangman Page, retains TV title, and Kenny King defeats Eli Isom. Isom?
Ism?
Eli. Ism.
I don't know. I think I've only heard his name once when it's been a while.
Hangman Page still has a break.
And Punishment Martinez is 0-1 in NXT.
Give him time.
Yeah, I love it because they put him against somebody who's got shit going on. So it's like, well, he's losing his debut match.
They need to make another Baron Corbin.
So much for coming out hot.
Yeah. Alrighty. Before we move on to our segments, I believe we have the answer to the trivia question earlier. Did anybody get it?
No, we had a Big Van Vader, but that's not correct. Although that was of the right era of New Japan.
It's actually pretty close.
The answer is Tatsumi Fujinami.
Yep.
WWE Hall of Famer, Tatsumi Fujinami.
And he also defeated another Hall of Famer to get it. Not a WWE Hall of Famer, but a Japan
Wrestling
legend.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Wrestling Hall of Famer.
Wrestling.
So, I want to, just a quick reminder, guys, we do have a Patreon. If you can donate to that, great. We love your donations. They help us out. We give shout-outs to all of our patrons, including Glenn Kukan, co-host, Andrew Whitaker, Jeff Trelowitz, and Jay Winger. Every week, you all get a shout-out for your contributions. Now, Jay Winger's tier allows him his very own segment on the show. This segment's called the Positivity Zone. We're going to talk about something positive. And I'm going to give us a little Christmas theme. We're going to go back to the beginning of the show when Dan went on a little bit of a rant against his boss, Frank Shirley. offered you guys that Christmas gift. Well, that came from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which, in my opinion, is the best Christmas movie of all time. There are plenty of others to discuss, but Christmas Vacation is my number one favorite, and I want to talk about why. First things first, there are lots of classic Christmas movies, and all of them are good. Christmas Story, as classic as it is a little overrated. I know people want to call for my head whenever I say that, but think about Christmas Story and what it also represents. It is a timepiece, it's a recollection, and it's a little overplayed with the TBS 24-hour thing.
Yeah,
which is
I think if it
crappy.
wasn't for that, it would be a top movie for most people.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those people that hate realistic things, like how my uncle hates fucking Seinfeld in The Office because it's too real.
I was just I was never a huge fan of.
That movie is like the realest thing on Real Street.
And here's the other thing about Christmas Story that's so freaking good. The problem, I should say. Well, I mean, it is good. There's lots of good stuff about it, but the biggest problem that I think people have with the movie in general is just the fact that because TBS owns that time frame, you can't watch it any other time. You know how like right now, if I go on and I look at the movie channels that I get, and I don't get much because I got PlayStation View, but they're showing all the Santa Claus movies, all three of them. I've seen both versions of Miracle on 34th Street airing. It's a Wonderful Life. Of course, there's Harry Potter marathons everywhere, which I could argue could be considered Christmas movies. You can catch Christmas Vacation, Nightmare Before Christmas, Four Christmases, Bad Santa, even Krampus. You know, you can't watch Christmas Story. Why? Because TBS owns it and will only air it for a 24-hour span starting on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
So it's not like you can just, unless you own it on DVD, you can't just watch Christmas Story. So the way they're doing that is to force you to have to watch it at a certain time, and when you do something like that, guess what's going to happen? People are going to turn on it. It's just how it is. Regarding Christmas Vacation, though, why I think it's the best. I think it's the funniest Christmas movie. There are certainly cases of other very funny Christmas movies out there. I think this one's the funniest. I think it's got the best slapstick humor, combined with intelligent humor, combined with potty humor. It's Chevy Chase, who at his peak was an extremely funny comedian.
Yes, he was.
Did not age well. And I don't just mean his comedy either. I mean, he himself...
He became a salty asshole.
But then again, you see him on the newest Vacation, and he was pretty much himself.
Which I haven't seen.
You should.
Christmas Vacation in general is a great movie because it's part of the Vacation franchise. So if you've already seen, actually, you don't even have to have seen the original or the European Vacation to this movie is a standalone.
Because European has tits. So I actually to this day I haven't seen European.
Oh, it's so freaking good. They're all great. Don't get me wrong. They're all great for different reasons, but Christmas Vacation is great because it's a standalone. And, the whole thing, this family goes on these lavish vacations that go nuts.
This time they stay home.
This time they stay home, and all the comedy comes from there. And there's jokes flying at you a mile a minute, but the way everything ties together and works as its own segment, like he's shopping for a Christmas gift and then shamelessly flirting with the hostess. And it works as a standalone segment, but it also makes sense. The scenes at work as a standalone.
Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass.
Kiss my ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah. The best part. All the other stuff that kind of ties into the sled race.
Oh, God.
Oh, with the new alloy.